Heyo, heyo, yo. No. Ah, this thing went out, ran out of batteries. Hello and welcome back. It is this time of year. It is when I transfer into Santa Claus. Ho, 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 says Santa Claus. Yeah, we are today as well as yesterday. We are going to watch more from the Michigan hyperbaric chamber explosion case. They have released more of the testimony from last week's hearing. And today we are going to listen to a Troy detective, one of the people who were responding to the site, I believe. I should make naughty or nice list of various people we've covered throughout the year. Oh, that could be interesting. I will make a note of that somewhere. I will stall that one so I can get back to it. Yeah, good idea. Good idea. So this hyperbaric chamber explosion. Thomas Cooper, age 5, was in treatment because this facility sells hyperbaric chamber treatments for more or less everything from autism to ingrown toenails to everything. It's, in my opinion, a very, very expensive way for temporary relief. Hyperbaric chambers is the same that they treat divers for diving sickness, which means they push in 100% oxygen, they pressurize the chamber, and in this case, a spark ignited the chamber. It exploded with Thomas Cooper inside it and more or less burnt him in a matter of, it's horrifying. It is absolutely horrifying. His mother, who was there at the time, tried to save her kid and got severe burns on arms and upper body. And it's infuriating because it was avoidable. Completely avoidable. With a grounding bracelet, which apparently this facility didn't care to use. And we have listened to a couple of people, including yesterday we listened to the representative of the manufacturer of this chamber, who was not very good at what he did. And it's so with that testimony, I believe the family has some good information for their civil suit. Let's just say that. You can go back and listen to it. I have a playlist. It's called the Hyperbaric Chamber Case. So I have a playlist with 6 or 7 videos and streams on it if you want to get to know this case better. But we are here for this person. A Troy detective. So that is what we are going to do today. Now, there are more testimonies out there, but I have a bit of, I don't have much time today. This is one of the shorter, it's 45 minutes long. But I believe, so we should be getting around it in about an hour and a half, I believe. So yeah, folks, the Michigan hyperbaric chamber case and a Troy detective testifying.
We've got on the record the state of Michigan versus Tennessee and Judge Leader Moffett and Free Market.
Thank you, Judge. Good morning. Chris Kessel for the people.
Yeah, again, I can't do anything about the sound. All the recordings from the.
Your Honor, thank you. Tom Kramer, also appearing on behalf of Ms. Peterson.
Good morning, Your Honor. Todd Flood on behalf of Mr. Martin.
Good morning, Ellen Michaels on behalf of the Leader Moffett.
Alona Sharon on behalf of Mr. Knoxteller.
Go ahead.
Hannah Berg on behalf of Mr. Gary Markin.
Isaiah Cruz on behalf of Mr. Gary Markin.
All right, thank you. All right, are we ready to proceed with your next witness?
We are, Judge. This is Detective Whiteside. He's go right up. Thank you.
Detective White.
Please raise your hand, be sworn. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You can proceed.
Thank you.
Hi. Hello.
Judge,
Hello,
please give me 1
Danny.
second.
Yes.
Hello, Bay. Celestial Force. Gwendolyn. All you others. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, we'll mark it first. This is number 11. A little bit, but yeah. Correct. Well, I'm not. I'm asking you general questions. No.
What happened? Okay. They muted. That wasn't me.
Thank you, Judge. I'm ready. Sir, could you please state your name?
Yeah, Ryan Whiteside.
All right. Mr. Whiteside, how are you employed?
I am a detective at the City of Troy Police Department.
All right, detective. What are your roles and responsibilities generally at Troy?
I'm assigned to the Criminal Information Unit in investigations at Troy Police Department. I have a caseload in investigations along with doing digital forensics and video recovery.
Okay. Do you have some additional training in digital forensics and video recovery?
I do.
Okay. Could you tell the court about that?
I've been doing digital forensics for approximately 12 years, several hundred training hours with the U.S. Secret Service National Computer Forensics Institute down in Alabama. I've been trained in Celebrate as a certified Celebrate physical analyzer and a Celebrate certified operator.
What's Celebrate?
Celebrate is a software that we use to forensically get an image of a cell phone.
All right. Sorry, carry on.
I've also been to training classes on the extraction of DVR, digital video recorders, amongst call detail records and cell phone and computer forensics.
All right. Thank you. Detective, as part of your work with Troy, were you involved in the investigation into the death of Thomas Cooper?
I was.
Okay. Did you go to the Oxford Center on January 31st of this year?
I did.
Okay. Did you have contact with a person named Andrew Kistner?
I did.
Okay. Who was that?
He showed up. Well, I was originally asked to go to the Oxford Center in Troy here after the incident occurred to try to collect any video that we could on that date and time. I was told when I got there that a representative would be coming who could assist in getting the video for us, and that was Andrew.
Okay. Did Andrew give you an email address?
He did.
Okay. I'm not going to ask for it. Did you ask him to send you anything?
Yeah, a link was sent over to him utilizing evidence.com to upload any video from date of the incident from that morning.
And did you receive anything on evidence.com?
Yeah, he sent multiple files from the different camera angles within the Oxford Center.
All right. And did that come from the email that he gave you?
It did.
Okay, thank you. And did you have an opportunity to step back? The video that he sent that day, was that just of the incident?
That was of the morning of the incident, correct?
Okay, thank you. Detective, did you have contact with Jeffrey Mosteller on February 5th of this year?
I did.
Okay, what led you to have contact with him?
I was part of a group that went to Mr. Mosteller's residence to execute a search warrant to get any kind of evidence.
Okay, were any devices or was any evidence recovered?
We recovered a Nokia cell phone and a laptop.
All right. And were those devices, I'm not looking to get into the contents today, but were those devices examined somehow?
They were.
Okay. Was the cell phone examined?
It was.
All right. Was that using the Celebrite
It
program? Okay. And Detective Whiteside, did you go to the Brighton Oxford Center location on February 12th, 2025?
I did.
Okay. Why did you go there?
We were executing a search warrant at the Oxford Center in Brighton because when we had originally gotten video from the Oxford Center in Troy, we were told by Andrew at the time that the video would have to be remotely gathered by him at the Brighton location. When we were there on the first day of the incident, we did find DVR systems at the Troy location. However, they didn't have any monitors or mice attached to them. Any way of us reviewing it. Based on my training, I know that there can be DVR systems in one location that have to be remotely accessed, or the information is stored remotely on a server at a different location. So when we were executing the search warrant on the 12th, we were looking for the rest of the video that we could get of the Oxford Center of prior treatments for the victim. At that time, we were told that through an IT person that the video was actually stored on the DVR systems at the Troy location.
You said you had contact with an IT person. Is that?
We were put on speakerphone with Aaron, who was an IT person, after Tammy called Aaron while we were at the location.
Okay. Why did you need to contact the IT person?
We were asking for information such as credentials, login information, passwords that were stipulated in the search warrant that we could obtain. And Tammy was unable to provide that information to us.
When you say Tammy, you mean Miss Peterson?
I do.
All right. And is Miss Peterson in the courtroom today?
She is.
Okay.
I'll stipulate that it's Ms. Peterson.
Yeah, I was going to leave it there, Judge. Thank you. Was Miss Peterson helpful in getting you the information you needed?
She called Aaron. At the time, we asked her for his credentials or passwords, and she had claimed that her passwords were not currently working at the time.
Were the usernames and passwords that Aaron gave you, were they her usernames and passwords?
I believe it was a general, like an assistant administrator.
Thank you. Once, did you get the material at Brighton or no?
We did not.
Okay. Where'd you have to go to get it?
A separate search warrant was obtained to go to the Troy location where we went with the U.S. Secret Service, a representative from them who's a specialist in digital video recorders. And the actual DVRs were recovered from, they were securely logged out of, powered down, and recovered from the Troy location.
All right. Did you, Detective Whiteside, did you have an opportunity to review then all of Thomas Cooper's prior treatments at the Oxford Center?
Yes. Once we recovered the DVRs from the Troy location, they were turned over to Agent Sini with the Secret Service, and the Secret Service was able to, they were provided a list of the dates and times of the victim's previous treatments. They provided the files and the time windows of each of the treatments that I was able to review.
All right. Detective Whiteside, are you familiar with the contents of what's been marked People's Proposed 11, which is a flash drive?
Yes.
Okay. And what is on here?
Those should be the individual folders containing the video files from each date of each of Thomas's treatments.
Okay. And did we confirm earlier that that was what was on here?
We did.
Okay. All right. Your Honor, at this time, I would move for the admission of People's Proposed number 11.
Any objection?
For purposes of exam, no, Your Honor.
Other attorneys?
Same as
No objection for purposes of exam.
All right, thank you. 11 will be admitted.
Thank you. Detective, the videos on here, is it just one camera angle, or are there multiple camera angles that you can view for the treatments?
There were recovered multiple angles for each treatment.
Okay. And so were you able to sort of see from the time Thomas Cooper enters the building until the time he goes to the chamber, until the time that he leaves?
Yes,
Okay. And that's everything that's on here, correct?
I believe so, yes.
All right. And while you were observing these videos, do you ever see Thomas Cooper wearing a strap around his wrist that connects him to the chamber during any of the treatments?
No,
Do you recall generally what Thomas Cooper is wearing when he's getting his treatments?
I believe a majority of the time he was wearing pajamas.
Okay. You're familiar, or I should say, are you familiar with, like a hospital gown? It's got the ties in the front of the back and it's
Yes.
very airy. Okay. Does he appear to be wearing a gown of any kind during these treatments?
No,
Okay. Are there instances in which Thomas Cooper is given a blanket?
yes.
Okay. Could you see where the blanket was coming from on some instances?
Excuse me. Yes, in some of the instances, it was coming right out of a dryer.
Oh, folks, have you ever experienced static electricity from things you just took out from the dryer? I have.
And Detective Whiteside, forgive what sounds like a silly question, but have you ever taken things out of a dryer before?
I have.
All right. What sometimes happens when you pull things out of a dryer? Do you hear static?
Objection relevance as to what happens on other occasions versus what may or may not have happened in this case. And he's not an expert on static electricity.
Well, he doesn't need to be that's why I laid the foundation. Have you ever, Judge, sorry, too many thoughts at once. He doesn't need to be an expert to testify about what his experience is, which I think we all have, pulling things out of a dryer. And it's especially relevant because he observed this type of action, he's observed this action on videos as it relates to Thomas Cooper. So that's why it's relevant.
Except that in this case, we don't know what, if any, kind of anti-static devices were being used, the make of the dryer, the type of the dryer, the humidity in the room. That's what's relevant. This dryer on this day, not his experience doing laundry at home.
And I think those are very good questions for cross, Judge, but on direct, I think he can answer these questions and it is relevant.
I'm going to allow the question.
Thank you. If you've pulled clothes out of a dryer before, you were saying, correct? All right. And have you, while opening towels or other articles of clothing, have you felt or heard sort of snaps, static shocks?
On occasion, yes.
Okay. And your testimony is that you saw in instances people pulling towels directly out of the dryer and then giving them to Thomas Cooper?
Correct.
And then he would start his hyperbaric treatment?
Not on every instance.
Sure.
But yes.
Okay. Do you recall, did you watch the full 360 view of the treatment where Thomas died?
Yes.
Okay. Was a towel pulled out of the dryer on that occasion? Or a towel or a blanket, I'm sorry?
I don't recall. No.
Okay. Do you recall in the videos, was there a time in which Thomas was sort of patted down or checked?
There were 35 reviewed treatments between December 9th and January 31st. There was one video, one treatment that it appeared that Thomas was patted down and they appeared to be searching if he had anything on him that he wasn't supposed to.
Okay. Do you recall?
I'm going to make an objection here as to both the question and the response. I wanted to wait to hear what the response was. What happened on the 35 prior treatments is not relevant to what happened on the day of this incident.
Judge, I think there's been a lot of back and forth about what was the common practice, particularly at the Troy facility, and how it related to what was going on at the Brighton facility. There's been testimony how things specifically ran at Brighton, and there were objections that Tiffany Hosey could not say what was happening at Troy because she only worked at Brighton. This witness can testify about what he saw in this. I mean, first of all, it's on the video, which has already been admitted, but this witness can directly answer the question of was what was happening in Brighton happening at Troy, and that's what he's doing.
And I hadn't objected to the admission of the video of the other previous visits yet, because I didn't know what it was being used for. If it's being used to show what it was being asked about now, whether or not a safety check was done on these other occasions, I renew my relevancy objection. It's not relevant what was done any other day except the day in question.
I'm struggling to understand that line of thinking. Clearly, it appears that a lot of the testimony that's been obtained from all of the witnesses thus far has been in an attempt to establish that the center was not following the industry standards. So I find this line of questioning to be relevant at this point, especially in light of the fact that I do recall there were a number of objections to testimony about what was potentially taking place at the Brighton Center, where Ms. Housey indicated she spent most of her time. And the basis of those objections was because it did not necessarily mean that that's how things were being conducted at the Troy Center. And this particular testimony thus far seems to be based on observations of the treatments that were done specifically at the Troy Center. So I believe that the line of questioning is relevant and we're going to allow it to continue.
Thank you, Judge. You were saying there was one instance?
December 12th, it appeared that he was patted down prior. Other than that, I never saw anything that from my perspective or my knowledge of the procedure would have appeared to be a safety check.
Did a safety check occur during the treatment that ultimately led in the fire?
No.
Okay. Were there instances in which was Thomas always, did he have his shoes off all the time when he was in the chamber?
The shoes were always removed prior to going into the chamber. Sometimes it was by the person working there, and sometimes it was by his mother.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Questions for this witness?
All
At the
right.
moment, Your Honor.
Yes.
Now it's the defense.
Detective Whiteside, how long have you been a detective?
About 14 years.
There was a Barry Whiteside. Is that your dad?
It's my father.
All right, so you're second generation Troy PD,
I
right?
am.
Okay. Tell him I said hello when you see him. All right. With respect to the digital forensics, that was kind of your role in this investigation. Is that fair?
To a point, yes.
All right. You didn't, aside from talking to people to get digital information, you weren't interviewing people. You weren't out doing any type of scene evidence collection for anything related to the fire scene. Is that fair?
That's fair.
All right. In the Troy Police Department uses a report software program, right?
Correct.
And I think a lot of the departments use similar software. It's connected to Clemis, the county system. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And the way the software works is there's an initial incident number assigned to the first officer who does something, right?
Correct.
All right. So if there's a bank robbery, the first person who writes that I went to the bank to investigate.
We call it a point one.
Point one.
The first one.
All right. And then thereafter, there's the ability for all of the officers involved in the investigation to prepare supplemental reports and add them into the software file for this investigation. Is that fair?
Correct.
And every time an officer enters a new supplement, it gets a new supplement number. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, are you supposed to put a new supplement every day you do something, or are you allowed to supplement with several days worth of work in one supplement?
It can be several days. It can be an entire investigation if that's the way that the case goes.
All right. And for you, I think I know that on February 2nd, you had supplement number 23, which talked about some of what you have testified about today, going out on the 31st, talking to Mr. Kistner, and then for February 12th, going out with the Secret Service to find the DVR information, right?
Correct.
All right. And when you went out with the DVR, to look for the DVR information, you did that with a search warrant, right?
Correct.
All right. And you get a search warrant, you have to get an affidavit. Somebody has to sign an affidavit. Law enforcement does under oath. Present it to a magistrate, and the magistrate decides whether to give you a warrant, right?
Correct.
Were you the affiant for that search warrant, if you recall?
I don't recall.
All right. But suffice to say, you went with a search warrant to seize these things, right?
Correct.
And when you did that, you didn't just take yourself, the digital forensic expert for the Troy Police Department. You reached out to the Secret Service, right?
Correct.
Who decided to reach out to the Secret Service?
I don't recall whose initial idea that was.
All right. The Oakland County Sheriff's Department also has similar services available, right?
They do.
All right. And you have experience in DVR as well, right?
Correct.
But someone decided that the Secret Service should be involved too.
Yes.
All right. And was that someone at the Troy Police Department or the Attorney General's office or who?
That would have been at Troy Police Department, and I remember the reasoning for it. I just don't remember who initially said the idea or reached out.
And the reasoning was they had some additional expertise that you wanted to make use of?
When it comes to data storage, there's certain types of data storage called RAIDs that stores data over multiple hard drives, and it backs up over itself. So if one hard drive goes bad, you can replace it and swap it out with another one, and the data is not lost. Recovering data from a RAID drive is more of an intense process than recovering just a DVR system or recovering a computer. We knew that the Secret Service had experience with recovering RAID drives, servers, things of that sort that we don't have the training in. And I believe that was the reason why they were brought on.
All right. So someone contacted the Secret Service and an agent accompanied you to execute the search warrant and recover this data, right?
Correct.
And when you located the DVRs that were relevant to your search warrant, were these the RAID type documents?
They were not.
All
They
right.
were just the regular DVR
All right.
systems.
So really, you didn't need to have the Secret Service do anything because the reason you called them the RAID materials weren't recovered pursuant to the search warrant, right?
We didn't recover any kind of RAID or server because it wasn't one. The DVRs were recovered pursuant to the search warrant,
Okay.
as those were included as well.
All right. But they went to the Secret Service. They didn't stay at the Troy Police Department. Is that fair?
That's correct.
But the reason that you wanted the Secret Service in the first place was their expertise with the RAID, the RAID type storage materials.
That was the initial, and then they offered to assist us in recovering the video off of the DVRs due to the amount of work that was going on at Troy PD.
All right. And you allowed, and someone made a decision, okay, let's let the Secret Service do it, right?
Right.
And so whatever was recovered didn't stay with the Troy Police Department. It was transferred to the custody of the Secret Service. Is that fair?
While they did the extraction, correct.
And when you say extraction, that's hooking up the drives and making a digital copy of it, right?
Correct.
All right. And from that digital copy, the analysis is performed by the Secret Service, right?
The Secret Service did the extraction and then provided us with the videos.
All right. Now, did they provide you with all of the video that was extracted or just the items that we have on the exhibit that's been introduced?
They provided us the DVRs back, so we do have the DVRs with the hard drives with all of the video. They did simplify some of the work by giving us the treatments separated.
All right. So they're the ones who carved it out, if you will, these treatments of the boy.
Correct.
Now, presumably there are narrative reports from the Secret Service as to what they did, right?
I'm unsure on that.
Did the Secret Service provide you any reports when they gave you the electronic data?
I don't recall.
Are the Secret Service reports in any way attached to the Troy Police Department software file for this case?
I don't recall.
Okay. So as of right now sitting here, you don't know who at the Secret Service did it or what happened. We don't have any reports for that other than they provided you the digital information that you reviewed for your testimony today. Is that fair?
I know two of the agents that worked on it. I don't know if they provided any kind of documentation to us.
Have you worked with the Secret Service before?
Yes.
And are you aware of whether or not they prepare narrative reports of their investigations and when they do these types of analysis?
As far as assisting other law enforcement agencies, I don't know what their process is to provide
But
that.
internally, are you aware that they do report on what they're doing,
I
right?
would assume that they create reports just as any other investigators do.
Okay. All right. So you yourself were not the person who carved out the actual treatment videos that are on the exhibit. but you recognize the person, the young man on them as Mr. Cooper, right?
Correct.
Okay. And how many treatments were there?
I was given 35.
All right. And in fairness, Ms. Peterson is not the person providing any of the treatments in any of those videos. Is that fair?
That's correct.
Okay. She's nowhere to be seen on any of those videos. Is that right?
I don't believe so.
Okay. And, obviously there is one which we're here about today, but in the other 34, is it your testimony that at no time was the bracelet being worn?
Yes.
Okay. But in none of those 34, was there any type of fire or spark or anything causing any damage to the interior of the chamber? Fair?
Fair.
Did you prepare a supplemental report of your review of these treatment snippets?
I did.
Okay. And do you know when you entered that report in the Troy software program?
I don't recall the date that I put that stuff in.
Do you know whether it was before or after the charges were issued against these 4 defendants?
I don't know.
Okay. If I don't have a supplement of that activity in my report, it's somewhere. You did it. You did it. I just don't have it. Is that fair?
If you don't have it in front of you, I did a supplement report along with an attachment of a spreadsheet that documented each of the incidents and times.
All right. Now, my understanding of the software program is, when it's printed out, you get what's in the program in the software at the record at the time. So if I'm given something in March or April and things happen later on, that's not given to me. I'm only given what's printed out or what's in the file at the time, right?
You can only be given what's entered at the time you're given it.
Okay. All right. Your Honor, may I approach the witness real quick?
Yes.
This appears to be a Troy Police case report. Are you familiar with the layout?
Correct.
And when the report's created to be given to someone, it's usually got a created date at the bottom, right?
Usually, yes.
Okay, and then you see one here?
Correct.
Okay. So if I want the most updated Troy Police Department report, I'd want one with today's date on it, right? With the created on today, because that would have everything that was done, right?
That's correct.
All right. Now, is it Troy Police protocol that all of the search warrants that are done as part of an investigation are attached into the software record for the case?
A copy of the search warrant?
Right.
I know a copy is provided to the court. I don't know if in our regular general orders it is required to include it in the report as an attachment.
All right. Well, let me ask you, you've done search warrants before, right?
I have.
All right. And when you do it, do you attach it to reports that you're working on?
Typically, yes.
All right. Now, the items that you seize as part of a search warrant, sometimes that can be a whole lot of data, right? These computer files are enormous, right?
Correct.
And you can't attach those because of the size to the Troy Police Department report, right?
Correct.
Where are those stored?
We have a network storage drive at Troy Police Department where that is backed up on.
All right. So again, if I wanted to get everything it's a bad question. Everything for each investigation, is it segregated by investigation on this drive?
The network storage drive where digital evidence is stored is the digital evidence that myself, my partner, and the criminal information unit save on there, such as cell phone extractions, computer extractions, stuff like that. That's too large to be put on evidence.com, which is where we typically would store most digital evidence.
All right. And is it stored permanently on evidence.com?
Yes, as long as it's saved into a case.
All right. So again, if I wanted to get the most current, up to date, other than maybe what you have in your digital storage area, it's going to be on evidence.com, and I'd want it as of the most recent date possible, like today.
That would give you the most recent information.
All right. Evidence.com, is that a third-party vendor that you use? The Troy Police Department uses? And then with respect to Celebrite, I want to talk to you about that a little bit. Celebrite's a company, right?
It is.
And it sells its software and its items, right?
It does.
And my understanding that you can use Celebrite on cell phones, right?
Cell phones, tablets, yes.
Okay, so it's mainly the portable electronic devices as opposed to a full-on computer?
Correct.
Okay. And the way, as I understand Celebrite works, is you plug in the phone and Celebrite analyzes the phone, takes the data off the phone that's available, and essentially creates a report. Is that fair?
It parses the information and it shows it in a way that we can access the data on the phone without altering it. Then we can generate a report through Celebrite after it parses it out.
So Celebrite, and it's a two-step process here. So first you get the parse data, and then you have the ability to create the report, right?
Correct.
And the report includes a myriad of information that are on these cell phones, right?
Correct.
Okay, because they're people's lives are on their phones now, right?
Yeah.
And your investigations can find lots of stuff on phones that people, criminals maybe don't want you to find, but this Celebrite lets you get in there and dig it all out, right?
Correct.
Okay. And when you organize it, it shows it by text messages, right?
Correct.
It can have photographs,
Correct.
Internet access,
Correct.
telephone call records.
Yes.
I'm trying to think what else. App information.
That's included. Yep.
All right. So you get everything that's on the phone, right?
Yes.
All right. And as part of this investigation, that there were phones seized from individuals. Fair.
Correct.
And were you called upon to use Celebrite on anybody's phones?
I did use Celebrite. Yes.
Okay. And that's also in a supplement in the report. I think it's number 26 on February 21st, if you remember or not.
Unsure of the sup number, but I did write a supplement on the examination of one phone.
All right. And from that, you parsed the data, you created the report, and you looked at everybody's text messages, right?
Correct.
And so you could see in real time, going backwards, the communications between Tammy, Jeff, Gary, about various things, right?
Correct.
And you saw in these text messages information about the chambers. Is that fair?
Correct.
All right. And the counts of the chambers, right? Do you remember that?
I remember that being documented. Yeah, I don't remember the counts off the top of my head.
All right. Are you aware of whether or not information was gathered from the Sechrist company?
I'm not
You don't
aware
know.
of the
Okay.
specific information,
Let
but I
me-
know that they were consulted.
All right. All right. Did you were not called upon to compare what these individuals were talking about in terms of chamber count versus what Sechrist was saying about chamber count? That wasn't,
No,
you
I
weren't
did
asking.
not compare those numbers.
Okay. But you're certainly aware that there are numbers on both sides.
I'm aware of that, yes.
Okay. Here, I have no further questions.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
Good morning, Detective Whiteside.
Good morning.
I just have a few questions. My colleague, Mr. Gleason, asked about the videos. You never saw Mr. Mark in any videos, did you? My client. He can stand up for you. The guy with the glasses.
I don't believe so, no.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit about.
Yeah. Mr. Mark, I believe, is the person they claimed hasn't been on site for 3 years. But he's still I believe, the lead technician or something of the sort. So he signed off or something regarding this specific chamber where they allege that he did modifications on the chamber, if I remember correctly. So it's kind of weird that he wasn't on site for 3 years, but was still paid as lead technician for it.
Your expertise in cell tower usage.
Okay.
You've done that before.
I have.
Basically, to give a location of where a cell phone is,
Yes. Well,
And-
a general area.
general area based off of, triangulation of towers, correct?
Correct.
And did you ever do that in this case?
I don't believe I ever did any call detail record mapping, no.
So if that was requested by you or by someone to you, you could check my client's cell phone and where and when, if that cell phone ever went to the city of Troy. Is that fair to say?
It's not quite that simple, but if we were provided call detail records that had location information, depending on the type of record, we could see if it was contacting a cell tower or if it was utilizing a cell tower
Within the city of Troy?
within the city, right?
Okay. Over a certain period of time?
Depends on the type of call detail record, correct?
Then you could subpoena the cell phone company to get those particular records based on law enforcement to get that and do the triangulation process. Yes?
Correct.
Over a period of how many years?
I'm not quite sure of the retention. I know that for certain types of records, such as timing advance that we show when a cell phone tower just touches a cell tower, not even transmitting full data, those are usually within 30 days of the requested date.
And then there's also within your expertise, we've seen, you and others track people by, going by a store that has the internet process that connects to an app.
It's more difficult to locate some of those locations, but if your phone connects with a Wi-Fi or it connects with the user's location information based on an app's request, that information will sometimes be stored on the phone.
Would that be helpful to determine a time and date, potentially anyway, to see how, I don't know, how much time had passed since my client might have been to the Troy, facility?
That would depend on cell phone usage and when the records were obtained, what records they were requesting.
Well, as an investigator, we want to solve things. Fair enough to say? We don't want to come to a conclusion and fit our evidence into the conclusion, do we?
No.
That's like rule number one as being a detective, right?
Sir.
So no one asked you to do that? You're not the officer in charge of this case, correct?
I'm not the officer in charge of the case.
Very well. Just a couple more questions. If you were asked to extract some cell phone through Cellbrite of text messages that took place between my client or from my client's cell phone, is that fair?
Which client is yours? I'm sorry?
Mine's Mr. Markin.
The only extraction that I did was on Mr. Mosteller's phone.
Were you the only one doing extractions?
No.
Who else was?
I believe my partner, James Mork, did some cell phones as well.
Very good. I apologize. Thought it was you.
No worries.
Pleasure to see you again. Thank you.
You as well, sir.
I mean, after watching a few trials, hearings and stuff for the Karen Reed case and other trials, it's refreshing to see this detective just sitting there answering questions. No hesitation, no beating around the bush, just ask the question, he will answer. That's very refreshing.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm good. I'm good. I saw that question. I wanted to ask it, and I said no.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Doing well. Yourself?
Good, thank you so much. My name's Ellen Michaels, and I represent Alita Moffett.
Okay.
And I have some follow-up questions for you as well. If you keep your voice up just a touch, I don't hear so well.
I'll do my best.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna move backwards in time. So you were asked some questions about the cell phone extraction that you did do on Mr. Mosteller's phone, right?
Correct.
And that relates to an entry into the police report dated February 21, 2025, correct?
I'm not sure what date that the report was generated, but that would be about the time frame.
And there was a conversation that was between numerous parties, correct?
Correct.
In fact, I think you stated it was between Tammy, Jeff, and Gary.
And I believe there was a number that was not stored in contacts.
Okay. Now, Alita Moffett was not part of that conversation, correct?
I don't believe so.
let's talk about the dryer, blanket coming out of the dryer. So you do laundry at home?
I do.
Okay. You've never done laundry at the Oxford Center in Troy, correct?
Correct.
Now, but you did view the video of laundry being done at the Troy Center owned by Oxford, right?
The laundry room could be seen from the camera angles that were provided. And yes, there was at times tumbling.
All right, so happily Jim tried to raid. I bet he didn't click save after selecting your stream. Yeah, that has happened to me on occasions as well. You go in the settings when you, for instance, when you try to redirect your stream to another person's stream because you want to show your audience, hey, look at this other person, and then you fix everything and then you forget to click save. Tell Jim, boomer. And thanks for the try.
Items in the dryer and items removed from the dryer.
Okay, great. So let's talk about that. So let's talk specifically about the date of January 31st, 2025.
Okay.
You could see laundry being done that morning, right?
I would have to check my report with each individual entry of reviewing the video because yes, I don't recall specifically.
So if in reviewing the video, had you seen a spark while watching that video, you would have entered that into your report, right?
If I would have saw a spark in the laundry,
Yes.
the video was not of a quality where I believe that I would see a static electricity spark from within a laundry room.
So you couldn't see any sparks in this particular laundry load, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And you didn't see anyone doing laundry having any sort of reaction to a spark, right?
Not that I recall.
So you don't know whether this particular laundry load created any extra static electricity, correct?
I do not know.
In fact, you also saw dryer balls in the dryer in that video, right?
I don't recall.
But it's possible that they were using anti-static items, right?
It's possible.
It's also possible that there was a high humidity in the laundry room in order to not have static, correct?
That is outside of my scope of knowledge.
So your experience in your home isn't necessarily relevant to, or not, that's a legal term, doesn't necessarily inform what happened on the morning of this incident, correct?
I don't know the exact circumstances within that specific laundry room on that date.
Okay, thank you. And on this date, you stated that a blanket was given to Thomas in the chamber, right?
Okay.
Right. Now, he was in the chamber for about 42 minutes or more before anything happened, right?
Sounds about correct.
Okay. And in your viewing of the video, you don't see any sparks coming off of the blanket prior to the actual incident, right?
Not that I could observe, no.
Thank you.
Good morning. How are you?
Well, how are you?
I'm okay. I really don't have much for you. Just a couple questions about some things that you observed on Mr. Mosteller's phone, since I'm his attorney. You had discovered some text messages, correspondence between Mr. Mosteller and Tammy Peterson regarding cycle numbers on the chambers located at Troy. Is that correct?
I did document a text message between the two about this.
Okay. Do you think it was just one or more than one?
I recall documenting one. I'm not sure if there was more at the time.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this, and if you don't remember, I can lug this over to you so you can take a look at it.
Okay.
Do you recall seeing a text in August of 2023 in which Tammy asked Jeff for the cycle numbers for the 3 chambers?
Yes, I remember that there was one that I documented. I believe that was about the time frame of it.
Okay. And do you recall that as to chamber number 2, which we can agree is the chamber in which the fire occurred, correct?
I believe so.
Okay. He gave a count of 17,988.
I don't specifically remember, but if it's what I documented in my report, then.
Would looking at your report refresh your memory?
Yes.
May I approach, Your Honor? Thanks.
Okay.
Do you recall that now?
Yes.
Okay, so in August of 23, Ms. Peterson wanted to know the cycle count for number 2, and it was 17,988, correct?
Correct.
Okay. You don't see any conversation between the two of them to indicate that that's a fabricated number, correct?
I don't recall any conversation regarding that.
Okay. And then, do you recall another request from Ms. Peterson in November of 24 to Jeff asking for the cycle counts again?
I believe that there was another request, yes.
Okay. And in November of 24, do you remember Mr. Mosteller as to chamber 2 giving the count of 19,585?
Again, I don't recall the number specifically.
Would looking at the report refresh your memory?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, may I?
Yes, you can.
Sorry.
Yes.
Nope, I did it. 19,585. Okay.
So now having refreshed your memory, in mid-November of 2024, Mr. Mosteller advised Ms. Peterson that the count was 19,585,
Correct.
which we can agree is below 20,000.
Correct.
And did you see anything regarding that text conversation that indicated those numbers were fabricated or anything like that?
Not that I observed.
Okay.
Sharon, could you just tell me again, August 2023 was the time frame for the first text message?
August 16th, 2023. Do you need the count number again? 17,988.
Thank you.
Just one moment, please. Thank you very much. That's all.
Thank you.
Questions for this witness on redirect?
None, Judge, thank you.
All right, thank you. You can step down.
Thank you.
All right. That we got it. We got it in under an hour. How about that? Yeah, that was Detective Whitland. What was his name? I wrote it down. Whiteside, who informed us around his work, how he did the search, how he did the things that he did regarding his part of the investigation. Hello. Hey, look at this. Mr. Jingles is here. Hello. Hello. Let me put that down so you have plenty of space. Hey, folks. This is Mr. Jingles. He is the actual owner of this channel. And so everything you see here is because him. It's because of him. Pat Hacker, why was the child receiving this therapy? He got this treatment because of ADD and sleep apnea. Now, the chamber allegedly works with 100% oxygen, then it's pressurized, which means you inhale more oxygen, which frees up your blood vessels and some stuff like that. And those things can have temporary relief of some ailments, but it's not a cure. After a treatment, you will go back to the previous state. And so this ADD and sleep apnea, I don't know, might got some temporary relief. Ow! Why are you biting me? I'm not dead yet. I'm not food. So it's a scam, folks. This thing. It is a scam. Desperate parents of the desperate parents of this child with ADD and sleep apnea probably went through the conventional stuff without much success. I don't know the background to it, why. And then they paid this facility a lot of money because this is not cheap, this treatment. And he had what did I say? He had several in just a few months before the chamber exploded. So we are probably talking about thousands and thousands of dollars in just a couple of months. No. Excuse me for a minute. Yeah. So yeah, stop biting me, Mr. Jingles. I'm not food. Yeah, I've seen testimonies everywhere about how amazing hyperbaric chambers are. But that's just it. It's like a 5-star review on a new microphone. Yeah, because you get it, you try it, it works, you give a 5-star review, and then 6 months later, it's shit. And these sites who promote this, they will never, ever show you the negative reviews. But folks, all right, that is what I had for you. Tomorrow, I will have a bit more time, and then we will check another testimony. Let's see what his name is.
Melancho's testimony.
Melancho. Mr. Melancho is testifying. Mr. Melancho. And he is reportedly an expert in this area about safety measures and stuff, to my knowledge. So that is what we will watch tomorrow regarding this case. And this is from the probable cause hearing that was held last week. Sadly, they don't show this live. Only they record it and then they release it after the hearing is done. Okay, folks, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to do this, and I will see you tomorrow. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all the things. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.